Welcome everyone that's logging on. We're going to start in just a couple minutes here. Again, welcome everybody that's logging on. We're going to be starting in just a couple minutes here, just waiting for some last minute people to come on momentarily. And okay, I'm just going to do a little brief intro right now. My name is Nicole. I'm the marketing strategist for CalChiro. So we are very excited to present this week's Virtual Vendor Friday with Ooma Office. Ooma Office is, the simplest to use, easiest to install, best value business phone for any size business. You can do all sorts of things like automate phone calls, answer business calls from their app. So should you have any questions throughout the presentation, please put them in the Q&A feature along with your email address, just in case we aren't able to get to them during the webinar. And don't forget, anyone who sets up a demo with our presenter, Tony White, before September 1st, will be scoring some awesome prizes that he's going to tell you more about. So now I would like to turn it over to today's presenter, Tony White.
Thanks, Nicole. I really appreciate it. And wanted to thank everybody for your time. Thanks for the invite to do this. I think it's really important, especially in this day and age, to kind of understand what sort of incremental changes we can all make to our business. And so one thing I wanted to do is kind of share that with you from the perspective of what my background is, and also the fact that I could be a potential patient of yours. So yes, I am Tony White, the sales manager for the SoCal region, but my background is that I actually did a lot of time. My career is basically backed in medical device and pharmaceuticals. So I completely understand the landscape that you all live in, and how competitive it can be with regards to pain management specialists, orthopedic surgeons, acupuncture, et cetera, and so on. There is a lot of competition out there for you guys. And at the end of the day, what's expected is for all of us to deliver, for us to deliver to the patient. And so from that standpoint, the experience has to be exceptional for them. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about is how do we do that? And again, with regards to just incremental changes in regards to logistics. Okay. So before this COVID situation, before what we're calling the new norm, I would walk into an office, whether it is an orthopedic surgeon's office or whatnot, and the waiting rooms would be full. Okay, the phones would constantly be flowing. Maybe patients would be on hold from time to time, but there was just an influx of patient flow. And now with COVID, things have changed. Again, we're in a new norm where patient waiting rooms cannot be full anymore. Okay, and it is now more important that the phone calls be answered appropriately and effectively and efficiently, because you don't have that kind of traffic. It's just not feasible anymore. And so how accessible are you, and can calls actually be captured the way that they're supposed to be? The way that I would want you to look at this is kind of picture your practice now, okay? And how things are run from the minute the phone call is made or your phone is ringing, or even when you call out. How can you improve your patient experience? Maybe even enhance team communication internally and externally. And then again, ask the question, how productive are you? How well trained is the customer perceiving you to be, or your staff for that matter? And what are your backup plans just in case your phones or internet go down? And how does this impact you from a cost perspective? Are you prepared for all of these things? And so that I'll take a brief minute to kind of talk about all of them. If I were to call you right now, would I get sort of a homemade voicemail message? Thank you for calling. We're not in right now. It kind of sounds like you're working out of a garage. Or do you have a professional presence about you? When your patients call, do they have a belief that I'm calling the right guy? Okay. A lot of offices right now use an auto attendant, or what we would call a virtual receptionist. And it's a very professional presence. Okay. And it allows you to route calls in such a way that the customer doesn't need to leave a voicemail all the time, or we minimize hold times. okay? Maybe you've configured your phone, or you can't configure your phone, but how well can you configure your system right now to minimize those chances of using the voicemail? And when you do have your customers on hold, maybe I'm that customer that calls in and I am on hold. Am I hearing music, or am I hearing a message that's marketing your practice? Am I hearing what you can do for me for Father's Day or the holidays as a special, or for something that you're doing for new patients? These are some of the things that you can consider. And then again, if I call into the office, is your team on a unified communication platform? Maybe they're all working remotely, or sometimes they need to work remotely because of this new norm. Are you guys able to transfer calls to one another because you're all using the same platform? Or is your office on AT&T and a couple of your remote people are on Spectrum, or whoever it may be, and you just can't do that? And so your customers, patients have to hang up and call somebody else. Are we eliminating those inconveniences? Can you use instant messaging to update or respond to meeting requests in a timely manner? And do each of your team members have their own voicemail and their own extension, for that matter, so that if they are working remotely, they can actually respond in a timely manner to the patient because they actually have access to their own quote unquote system within the system, okay? With productivity, is your phone system working for you, or are you working around it? In other words, how tied to it do you have to be? And do you have the ability to maybe even use your phone system to help train your staff? Do you have access to a call log where you can use that in a couple of ways? You can monitor the amount of time staff members are on the phone and maybe teach to that, train to that, how they can reduce the time on the phone calls. Or you've got a call log that you can actually use for a sales purpose. In other words, you can reach out to potential customers during downtime to let them know what's going on, and maybe do some rescheduling, or even ask them to schedule with you. Not to mention, maybe you've got access or not access to call recordings, but you can utilize those for maybe HIPAA audits, or you can utilize those for training as well, where you're thinking about reducing the amount of miscommunications or misunderstandings during a call. Maybe it's with insurance companies, and you can train to those. So some of the things that you can, just to, again, make incremental changes to your business. Call continuity. What is your backup plan when we have the inevitable happen? The internet goes down, your phones go down, or both. If I'm that patient that's calling you, am I going to get through to you? Am I going to be able to change an appointment? Am I going to be able to make an appointment? What's your backup plan? And if this has happened to you before, is your backup plan efficient enough? These are some of the things that I would talk to you about, because we do have those types of redundancies. And then significant cost savings. Where are you with your savings? Do you pay an IT person to come in and manage your PBX system that's on the premise? Do you have a lot of phone equipment in some closet that has the potential to break down, and you're paying a monthly fee just to maintain that? How much do you spend on that IT person? And is it really necessary in this day and age, when there are cloud-based solutions like Ooma that can manage everything for you with no contracts, by the way? So that's kind of where we need to think in terms of the new norm, and with regards to communications, is at the end of the day, how well are we managing the patient experience as well as our bottom line? And so I want to take that conception and actually quantify that for you. Again, you're a chiropractor, you run a small, medium business, maybe you're a large business. I don't know, maybe you've got a few locations, and things are running very smoothly for you, but you don't necessarily have a lot of volume on the weekends or after hours, if you will, hypothetically speaking. Perhaps you're billing $75 for an initial consultation, maybe more. But at the end of the day, patients are researching you. They're looking for you. And when they do come across, they send you a message and they leave a voicemail. But in reality, these patients are in pain. I'm one of them, by the way. I've got a bad back, and I do leave a voicemail, but I'm in so much pain, I don't know when you're calling me back. Okay, I'm going to call somebody else just in case I can get an appointment with someone else right away. So yeah, they leave you a message, but their search goes on and they actually do book an appointment with somebody else. Let's do the math on this. What is the potential loss and or potential gain, for that matter? Our system, as you may already know, is 1995 at its simplest form. And every potential patient, as we discussed just now, is a potential $75 consultation fee. Well, if you can capture 15 calls after hours, that's fantastic. And if you convert 4 of those, that's $300 to your bottom line. with a net of 280 based on the price of our system. So basically it's $3,300 a year just in new consultations alone, let alone maybe you tack on some extra dollars for keeping your base patients. So that's the quantification of this, and how you can sort of think about it, and why this is, from a cost perspective, is such a great idea for you. But at the end of the day, what Ooma is doing for you, and why chiropractors enjoy our business, is we do help shape and change the way healthcare is delivered to the patient. We provide an experience that they actually come to expect of all of us in this day and age now. And so what we're trying to do is improve the coordination of care and just increase your mobility, your productivity. And so from that standpoint, we do impact you logistically. And it's that incremental change that can help you run your practice just a little bit more efficiently, a little bit more from a productivity standpoint, better. So that's my argument, and I'm sticking to it. But at the end of the day, here's my ask and here's my offer from this presentation, which, again, I thank you for your time on this, is we do believe that in this new norm, we can make the new norm seem like the old norm and really provide the experience that you were providing in the past. But with the influx of calls, you may not be prepared for this. You may not even have a backup plan in case your phones go down. I would love 15 minutes of your time to walk you through this process. And it doesn't really take much more time than that, to be honest with you. There is a link here that you can schedule an appointment with me, or you'll see another one as I show you my thank you note. But just for speaking with us, and here's the dollars that Nicole alluded to earlier, is just for making the appointment, we're willing to give you a $20 gift card. And if you activate with us, we'll even do $50. So a total of $70, which in some cases pays for just activating with us. One of your colleagues called me 3 days ago. He couldn't join today unless he was able to at last minute, but he was using Google Voice and was in dire need of wanting to do business with us. And so we wound up paying for his whole process, which was kind of cool, and it worked out for him. So hopefully he's happy. He'll be installed early next week. But at the end of the day, again, wanted to say thank you again for your time. I'll open it up for questions, and here's my information down below. If you're writing things down, or if you just want to leave a quick note, I'll be happy to reach back out to you. But again, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tony. And I feel like a couple slides previous, you kind of went by it really quickly, but there was a whole bunch of like info on like what Ooma can provide. So I thought maybe we could that one. So here are all the features that you can see on the screen very quickly, but I can definitely, give you all these on the call today, on the webinar today. Tony's information, again, that special offer that he is giving, and then his contact information, so that if you want to reach out directly to him, you definitely can. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, let's see here on the chat. One question from Dr. Jennifer Lynette. Do you allow texting to a landline from a patient's cell phone to the office line?
We have text messaging today, MMS and SMS. It's right now being done by our mobile app. We are currently enhancing that part of the system as we speak. So all of the things you just asked about should be within our capabilities within the next quarter. And there are other solutions behind that as well. So I can speak to those when we have a lot more time, or we can do a one-on-one chat. But the answer is not today, coming later, but you can text vis-a-vis our mobile app.
Thank you. And then we have another question from Dr. Brian Coyle. How much is the Office Pro?
Office Pro is $24.95. And the difference between Ooma Office and Office Pro, if you're looking at the features list right now, primarily is the ability to do call recording. And we have a desktop app, which means you can make phone calls without the need of a phone. You can make phone calls from your computer. And then voicemail transcription. Voicemails come via email with an MP4 file, but also with the use of Google, the voicemails are transcribed as well. So that's a huge plus. We also have enhanced call blocking, et cetera, and so on, but you can use call blocking with Ooma Office. I think what I described are the primary reasons why Office Pro is $5 more. And that's really because of the amount of data that's used or needed to host call recording. So $19.95, $24.95.
Perfect, thank you. And then Dr. Jimmy Wang said that he showed up late. Is this recording available to watch later? The answer is yes. We will be posting this recording to our website. I can definitely send you that link once it's available so that you can see what you missed. And then Dr. Jennifer Lynette says, the texting to the mobile phone, can you set up an automated reply on days you are not working?
Today, no. I can probably get some clarification to that though, because there might be ways around that, but I don't have that answer. So let me find out, because we're always doing some improvements or incremental changes, and I just don't think we can do that today. But again, with regards to a full-blown texting suite, all of that is coming in the very near future.
Perfect. All right. So then if anybody has any last minute questions to add, definitely put them into the chat. If not, then like we mentioned, Tony's information is here on the screen. Oh, we have one more. Oh, one more question
Sure.
from Dr. Cynthia Lacunza. If you have both a landline and a fax line, would that be $40 a month rolling over to Ooma?
Excellent question. The answer is no. So every feature that you saw, and I'll try to go back, every feature you see under Ooma Office is included in Ooma Office at no additional charge. Likewise with the same with Office Pro. Office Pro will have every feature in Office Pro to include Ooma Office, all built into one price. Faxing, conference calling, all of them are all included in the price. So if you need to keep a fax number, in other words, you published a main number and a fax number, you'll port both of those. You'll retain your numbers, and that'll just be rolled into your service. So no extra charge at all for any of these features, by the way.
Okay, great. Those are some really great questions
That was a
that
good question.
were asked. Yeah, great questions. Okay, so if you want to put maybe your information on the screen one last time, just so that anybody who didn't get a chance to write it down can write it down.
So the link that you see below the phone number is just the Ooma website linked literally to my information. So if you're on that particular link and need to contact me directly from the website, you can do so, or just call me, or literally make an appointment. Either way, I'm happy to speak to you. And again, most consultations are 15 minutes because we're talking about a phone system, not operations. So it should be quick.
Okay, great. So then we'll definitely get you all the information sent to you via email for those in attendance. Once again, just in case you weren't able to write it down. And as mentioned, this will be on our website in case you may have missed anything. We jumped on a little bit late. So I would like to thank Tony White for joining us for today's Virtual Vendor Friday, and Ooma for, now becoming a professional affiliate with CalChiro. And that's very exciting that we're joining together. So yeah, if you have any questions, need more info, feel free to reach out to either of us.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.